This film is so unlike most films that are done like this about people's lives, and you're dealing with someone who is still alive, who you collaborated with to some degree. So I wanted to know, Taron, what is it like playing Sir Elton John, knowing that Sir Elton John is watching you playing him?
I've gone through various different phases of feeling different ways about it, but the way I've ended up feeling about it is that it's been just an extraordinary privilege. And although I knew I would probably form some sort of relationship with him, I never anticipated that we would become friends in the way we have. It is like something from a dream, isn't it, really? You know, where you play someone who's not only such an icon, so well known, and you have all of this wonderful music to deal with, but then you end up, you know, sitting down quite regularly to have roast chicken with them as well, which is lovely. It's been amazing, yeah.
This is, I mean, except for an introduction part, this is the first part of the film where you, because there's a younger version of Elton that's in the, and you arrive, and what's interesting is Saturday Night Is All Right for Fighting came out in like 74, 75. You placed this back in the 50s. You really play a lot with time, with the notion. This doesn't follow a standard narrative. It's all over the place with kind of a Greek chorus. Why did you decide to make a film like that?
Well, it seemed that, you know, there's a lot of films maybe that sort of are biopic or biographical about, you know, rock stars or famous people who've been through these kind of complicated lives. And I think by throwing all of that out, it was part of the script initially that David and Elton came with, that by throwing all of that out, we kind of freed ourselves up from being locked into this narrative. And once I kind of keyed into that, it kind of gave me this freedom that I was really looking for emotional authenticity more than kind of a chronological recounting of where Elton wrote what songs, because we can go and find that out. What we're really looking at under the hood of here is where he was at emotionally, and then I could use those songs also to sort of span great parts of Elton's life. You know, Saturday Night's All Right for a Fight is really useful for looking at a lot of years of his life. We get through a lot of years of his early formative life, and so having the songs, having that freedom, having that creative choice really helped move the film along and fill a lot of those gaps. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sort of throw the rules out and see what we got, because it's representative of Elton and who he is, and he's this incredible personality, amazing imagination, incredible music, and that's a big thing to live up to. It's what, like you were asking Taron about, but that's exciting to have that challenge. And Taron made it sound like it was kind of really lovely and easy. He worked so hard. I can't tell you how much effort and time and energy and what he went through to deliver this performance. Genuinely, it's incredible.
You know, and Taron, I was at the Greek Theater when you guys, they showed the film with the Hollywood Symphony Orchestra, and then you and Elton showed up to sing. It was incredible to see that audience, because it was, you know, for a lot of people, your depiction of Elton John will be the one that remains with them. That is part of your career and legacy, and his now as well. How did you approach that, and how did you find your own voice doing Elton's voice?
I think the mandate of our movie from the get-go was we were not going to try and replicate anything. We were not going to try and recreate anything exactly as it happened. That goes for the costume. It goes for my depiction of Elton, and that, you know, the voice comes under that. It also goes for where we place the songs in the story. We're trying to use the songs to move the story forward and reveal things about the character. And we would do that in whatever way made us feel creatively excited. We can't live up to Elton John and his career. There's no point trying. So what we've done is we've created, with Elton's blessing and David's collaboration and everybody else who worked on it, Giles Martin, myself, Dexter, Matthew Vaughan, we've created our own sort of universe that is in homage to Elton and Bernie and their legacy. In terms of, but now the reason that's scary is because it slightly absolves me of responsibility to be exactly like Elton.
Slightly.
Which,
slightly being the operative term.
Which in some ways is really, really daunting, and it stressed me out a little bit. But in other ways, it's incredibly liberating, because what we do from the start of the movie, we set the tone very quickly, saying this isn't the world that you think it is. You know, Elton storms into a rehab clinic in 6-7 foot neoprene. So we slightly, I hope, absolve ourselves of responsibility to be kind of completely factually accurate all the time, and for me to be mimicking Elton. in the hope that what happens is an audience take our hand and come along for the ride. And I hope it feels like people have done that. So in terms of how I approached it, what I did was kind of spent time with Elton and David, and through a series of Elton's kindnesses and just the way you feel being around him, I kind of fell in love with him really as a friend, and it personalised the whole experience in a very, very, very real way. The beginning of that being when he gave me the first ever diamond earring he bought in 1972, and he gave it to me when I was at his house with David in the drawing room of their lovely house with my girlfriend, and Elton was in a robe, and he just dropped it into the palm of my hand. And the way I felt as a result of that, I just knew that this was the most important role I played so far and will probably be up there when I'm reflecting in 40 years.